Hi, I'm James. Welcome to the MusiCare PRO's Wellness Series. You know, as musicians, we suffer from many injuries that could come along from extended hours of practicing and performing. Tendinitis, nerve compression, to name a few. But luckily, we're here with Dr. Todd today, who's going to give us a little bit of his expertise, see how the actual product works for him. Dr. Todd, thanks for being here.
James, thank you very much for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your background, Dr. Todd.
Okay, so I started chiropractic almost 30 years ago. I got into it because I had a back injury myself, skiing as a young man, and saw a chiropractor and realized, how important, taught me how important the spine was to your body, to your wellness. He helped me, and I decided at some point, I'm going to pursue this career. So I did that many years ago, and I've seen artists, athletes, guitar players. I've treated them and, try to pay it forward and teach them about wellness and how to keep their bodies as well as possible to promote wellness.
Dr. Todd is a guitar player himself and performer. How have you seen the actual lap stand work and benefit for longevity?
It's great because what happens is how do we get there? How do we get to wellness? And for guitar players like you and I, we carry a burden. The guitar, you said it earlier, artists or athletes. And it is because when you put in, I know you have, James, 10,000 plus hours as a guitar player, professional musician, you've put in the time and you've carried this load on one side with the strap. Your body has to somehow accommodate that. And it interrupts the balance and the homeostasis of your body. And as a chiropractor, my job is to keep your body in balance. One way we could do that is a modality such as the axle lap stand, because it takes the pressure from that strap, which you could be holding an 8-pound guitar, a 10-pound guitar, a 12-pound guitar, for hours and hours on end. What this does is it removes that almost entirely. I have actually used it in my own studio where I don't even use the strap, I just use the stand. It's a revelation.
Yeah, it definitely is. So oftentimes somebody will come and see you with a problem after having had dealing with it for maybe years on end. And at that point, it's too late. And what are some things that musicians specifically, guitar players and bass players, can do to mitigate and prevent an injury?
Well, first I'll say it's never too late.
Okay.
There's always hope. There's always a way. When there's a will, there's a way, and I truly believe. But I will tell you that as musicians, sitting, carrying guitars, basses, it wears the body down. Particularly for us, the trapezius muscle gets contracted, right? The strap compresses the brachial plexus. We develop symptoms, which I suffer from these myself. Compression of the nerves comes down the arm, numbness, tingling, burning, weakness of the hand, which is really problematic for these fine motor movements that we need. What you're talking about is prevention and wellness. Wellness is that buzzword that appeared about 20 years ago, and it's here. It's here to stay. This modality, the axle lap stand, is a viable, effective, a champion of musicians, particularly the ones that use a strap.
Yeah.
And you can use it on your lap. You could use it to stand. You don't need a strap. It takes a lot of pressure off of your body and off of your skeleton and off of your nervous system, which is, of course, the most important system of the body.
Wow. All right, cool. So we're sitting here with the guitar. As you can see, I'm quite a tall guy. I'm 6'3", and I struggle with a lot of, back and shoulder, namely the right shoulder. And that's due to this kind of hovering above that I have to always do. I have to throw my elbow up and I'm kind of contorted at all times. And then my lower back is twisted, right? So we've got a lot of issues already. The guitar isn't built to be ergonomic, really. There's a lot of issues that are gonna happen, whether you have it the classical position or if you have it just the neutral position.
I would say most people hold it the neutral position.
Yeah, most people do.
Which is problematic. The classical position is certainly more ergonomic and certainly a better way, but very few people do that.
Yeah.
Only classical musicians really do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never held a guitar like that in my 40 years of playing, nor do I have any desire to.
Let's put the actual lap stand on this guitar and let's see how my posture will change entirely. With my guitar, I had to widen it quite a lot, but it fits. Even for wide-bodied guitars, acoustic electric guitars like the Godin. And it's a very quick installation process. As you can see, it doesn't take very long, and it's very secure once it's on. So now I'm pulling on it, it's not coming off. And it rests on my shoulder. Look at that. Look at how my elbow doesn't need to be elevated anymore like it was before. I could rest it on the guitar. Like before I wasn't. I had to hold it up. And my shoulders relaxed and my back, I don't have to lean forward as much anymore. So I could really play comfortably and not have to exacerbate any of my muscles in the process. Right?
So what I've noticed right away is that now you can rest your arm here. So what does that do mechanically? So biomechanically, now this trapezius, which is always a factor for guitar players,
Totally.
On both sides of your body, now this is relaxed. You're not contracting this muscle. You're able to rest it here.
Yeah.
And you're in a much more ergonomically friendly position.
Absolutely. And it gives me more height and I can straighten my back as I'm doing it also.
Back straight.
Yeah.
And your neck doesn't have to strain as much to get over the guitar.
Yeah. It's a game changer. Complete game changer.
My posture here is less than ideal. Everything that you see right now is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see your shoulders are not, they're misaligned.
No, well, you see, I have to hold just like you did. I'm holding my shoulder up. This trapezius is tightening up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm pulling the guitar forward. I have to lean over.
Can I add another thing?
Yeah.
I noticed that your leg is hunched up
Yes.
like this. Does this mess with your hip flexors?
It sure does. Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
I mean, just any imbalance. So that's a good observation. With my foot into that flex position, raising my knee. Why? Because I'm trying to get this guitar up higher for me, right?
Absolutely.
So one way I could do is have the strap.
Yeah.
Okay, and that will be helpful. But that's not, it's not a complete answer. You could see this is contracted. My ankle is flexed down and bringing my hip up, okay?
Yeah.
My shoulder is contracted, right? My trapezius here, bringing this up here.
So right now, your entire right side of your body is contracted.
Yes.
And
yes, and I'm leaning over this way. So does this look like healthy position to sit in for 8 to 10 hours preparing for a show?
No, sir.
Right. So now let's add the axle on.
that was good.
The first thing you're going to notice is that I'm resting my shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not contracted.
Yeah.
Okay, although my shoulder still seems it's the same position, but I'm not contracted. That's the main thing. Now, what's my leg doing?
Relaxing.
My foot is flat. Right. My body feels level. Okay, and it's forcing me into a more proper posture.
Yeah.
Even my music's better. I think my playing's improved.
Yeah.
So you can see just by bringing this guitar up just a few inches, how much better that will be over time. And remember, it's the longevity, the hours upon hours that we spend as performing musicians, the time we spend practicing and getting our parts correct. Any assistance you can have is helpful.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, it's a beautiful wellness modality to add to any musician, any artist's arsenal.
Yeah.
For wellness, because wellness is really, really important, and as we get older, we realize that. Youth is wasted on the young, well.
Not anymore.
Right. So, I think this is great, especially if you're just starting out. Get into it, prolong your career, enjoy your instrument.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we're going to take the stand. We have this little piece that fits inside of this hole. And just pop it in. Make sure it's secured inside. And then boom, you're ready to go. Right on. So Todd, what do you think? How's it look?
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally relaxed. I'm not carrying any weight whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you can let go. I mean, it's sturdy.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you could step away.
Step away, do some dances.
Yeah, this is, you're a little bit taller than me. But
Okay, you want to give it...
But for me,
it's
it's simple enough to just,
quick adjust.
Adjust it down. And look at that.
There you
And if you get out of the way, my favorite part is,
go. Ooh.
whoa.
It's like we're kids again.
Yeah. So, okay, so thank you. So the beauty of this is when I'm in my studio at home, I can practice a part, right? And then I can turn off my volume, walk over to my studio desk, do some work, write some lyrics, check out a chord, look at my chord book, you know, come back and say, oh yeah, that's how the G chord is. This is wonderful. And look at my shoulders. There's nothing here,
Yeah.
right? Except total balance and equilibrium, right? And now I can also adjust this to loosen this up, to bring this up or down to my liking. It's really very versatile. This is great, you know, hands-free. You know, I got nothing bearing me down, holding me down. My traps are loose. We're gonna raise this up. You can see how easy it is to adjust for different heights.
Oh, well, not that, not that high.
Is that too high? I
Wow,
can bring
that's
it down.
perfect. No, that's good. That's
You
good.
good?
Right there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, just like such comfort. I'm totally relaxed. I'm not thinking about my shoulder, which is, you know, the main thing when I'm at a gig. It's going to be this shoulder is going to be killing me, you know, for hours on end. If I'm standing for 4 hours doing a wedding gig, this shoulder is going to be devastated after the first hour, you know. I'm so excited to bring this to my next gig. That's all I need. It's going to save my back. I'm going to go home. I'm going to sleep great. And the next day, I'm going to be able to practice another 8 hours.
Traditional strap on the guitar. This is how guitarists over the millennia have held their guitars. Yeah. And it creates a lot of imbalance. So you can see he's got this trap, this trapezius muscle here is going to be contracted along with his levator scapula, okay? And over time, it's just constant contraction like this, okay? And that's going to take its toll on his body. So other muscle groups that'll be affected are his deltoid, his levator scapula here. His scapula, if you turn around, James, okay, as you can see, his scapula on his left side is much more developed than his right side, okay, creating an imbalance again. You could turn back, please. So what can we do to alleviate some of this stress on his body? One modality, of course, is the axle lap stand. We're going to demonstrate that now.
Yeah, let's do it. So right now we just installed the axle lap stand, which works together with the axle strap support, which is attached to my belt right over here, with a traditional guitar strap on this guitar. And I feel like just brand new, man. I feel like I could go on for hours like this. This is
so you feel
relaxed.
the pressure, the weight lifted off of your shoulder and more to your belt. It's more balanced.
My neck feels great, you know.
It looks a lot looser up here.
Oh,
it really does.
Yeah, I mean, before, I'm sure you could see I was a little, you know, contracted like that. Not anymore, man. I feel great right now. This is fantastic. This is a game changer. I could do my wedding gigs that go on for 4 hours like this and just be fine. Okay, so here I am sitting. I'm using the axle strap support on my belt plugged into the axle lap stand. And I got the traditional strap also just as like a little bit of a balancing measure. But as you can see, it's extremely loose. I have no tension on my shoulders or on my neck. It's fantastic. So now I'm gonna get up. As you can see, seamless, no issues there whatsoever. And if I wanted to take an extra level, to take my mic stand, and then, boom, right there. Very comfortable, and I'm ready for the gig. So Dr. Todd, what's a warm-up routine for musicians that you would recommend?
Well, as a guitar player, what I tend to do is, first of all, start with the center line and then move outwards. So, of course, you know, my system is the central nervous system. That's the system that I work with mostly. We free up those nerves, we free up that energy, and let it flow, good things happen. So the first thing I would do is, you know, just seated, relaxed seating, and you could just roll your shoulders back, nice and slow, like 10 times, okay? And you could also do it forward. 10 times, and just for brevity, I'll just go through a few of them, but you could do, you know, swing your arms both ways 10 times, gently, and of course then neck 10 times in each direction. And then to further the neck stretches, you would just gently hold, just the weight of your hand and bring it down.
Oh yeah, definitely feel it there.
And just set and hold, don't bounce. Obviously do both sides, always bilateral.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite, the chicken dance, and I'll turn to the side so you can really see it. So the chicken dance goes like this. Pull your chin in, give yourself a nice big old chicken neck, hold it. You'll feel those muscles working down your mid back right away. So, and hold 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, and you could do that 5 to 10 times every day or before you start practicing. Then we're going to move down the chain, right? So we're coming down the chain now. So the chain, first feel any tender spots. Feel, get in there with your hands, and if you feel a tender spot, press on it. And that's a lot of what my job is. Find the parts that hurt and press on it.
Sure.
Because healthy muscles don't feel pain when you press them. So when you find a tender spot, there's an issue going on.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so if you find any, just press on them, massage them a little bit. You know, don't exacerbate it, but you get the point. Okay, and then we're gonna stretch. Okay, so we're gonna go this way, and everything is bilateral, both sides. Both. All right, so you do this, and all stretches are stretch and hold. You don't bounce when you stretch. That's how injuries happen. Stretch and hold. All right, you can come down. Stretch and hold. Stretch and hold, 10 to 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Okay, and then shake them out. All right. Good. Relax your shoulders. Roll the shoulders. Okay, and then flip the fingers. Okay, starting at the pinky, and you're gonna try to get yourself up to 30 reps 3 times each. So count to 10, another 10 or 30, move to the next finger. Count 3 sets of 10, move to the next. Move to the next, 3 sets of 10, and then you're gonna do the whole thing over again. Okay, so you're gonna do 90 on each finger. Wow. And you'll find that's very, very helpful hand strengthening. Another one you could do is this one. Just tip to tip to tip to tip to tip, back and forth, 10, 20 times. And after that, you're good to go.
I feel great already.
You're ready to warm up.
Yeah.
I mean, you're warmed up. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I feel ready to take on Madison Square Garden right now.
Let's go.
How about any standing exercises? Anything you could share there?
Yes, well, everything I just showed you that we went through, you can do in the standing position.
Okay.
And in fact, the best standing exercise I could tell you is to just stand.
Oh, wow.
Just stand up. Because sitting down, leading a sedentary lifestyle, practicing 8 hours a day in a seated position is not good for you.
Right.
It's not good for every system of your body. Your body is a mobile, fluid unit, and it needs to be moving all the time. And sitting is over long periods of time, it takes a toll on your body. So just stand.
Wow.
I have my friend Henry here, who's had his better days. He's certainly seen his better days. Probably too many hours with a strap and not enough axle. This is looking at from the back. This is what we look like. From the side, this is what we look like. We have proper curves here and here. And this is from the front, okay? So you can see that the nerves come out of the spine. And these nerves, they feed down our arms on both sides, okay? The nerves coming out of these foramen, as they're called, go down the legs. They feed the legs. So when you have compression of the nerves in the neck, which is what we're addressing today, you get different what's called radiculopathy or radiculitis. That is the pain, the numbness, the tingling that we mentioned earlier, the weakness of the hands, which many artists, particularly guitarists and bass players, suffer for playing, many, many years, thousands of hours of rehearsal and practice time, performance time. So what happens is because we're manipulating our posture in an unnatural way, we compress the nerves. And that's where you get those symptoms from. Anything you can do, whether it's chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, wellness, drinking lots of water, everything to help your wellness program is going to help your homeostasis. And that's where the axle wellness modality falls into, because it will really help you to prevent awkward or improper posture while you're playing. And it's the improper posture when you're playing over consecutive hours, consecutive days, weeks, consecutive months and years, where it's going to take a toll on your body in the long run.
There you have it. Doctor approved. If you want to protect your spine and sound, go check out the axle, strap support, and lap stand at MusiCarePro.com. Dr. Todd, thanks so much for being here, and thanks for your insights.
James, thank you very much. My pleasure.
Pleasure's ours. Thank you. This has been a MusiCare PRO Wellness Series. Take care of your body, and the music will flow. Take care. Cool, man. You sounded good there. Saw you even nailing those